So welcome again in the fifth lesson, which is developing a course design. So first of all, we have an overview in which we say ESP curriculum development differs from general English because it is needs driven, so we rely on our learners' needs. Second, it is context dependent. According to the context, it differs from each class to class, from each ESP class. As we know before, like the ESP course for medical purposes, for example, it is different than the business English for business. Also, it is linked to target situations and demands of learners for sure. And then we have focusing the course, or we say ESP focus. Yani the course of ESP, on what it focuses. It focuses on like two main branches. The first one is wide-angled courses. And wide-angled courses, as its name, it is designed for broad groups, for large groups, as for example EGAP. It stands for English for General Academic Purposes, like a sub-branch of ESP for academics, and it is subdivided also into like general purposes, not specific. It suits mainly heterogeneous. We say heterogeneous learners because they don't have the same job, yet they are in the same field. Another one, it is wide and comprehensible. It is like wide and broad, not like very specific. So even the information in it can be like different. It is lower preparation, I think. Preparation. So the teacher in here, he did not like prepare very much and take his time. Yet we'll see the other one in which there is the difference. In narrow-angled courses, it is precise and concise because even the goals, the target needs or the goals are specific. Another one is it is designed for homogeneous learners. We say homogeneous because the learners belong to the same field and the same job. Like all of them are here, for example, all of them are doctors. Yet here, for example, in the same like context, in medical context, yet they do not have the same job. For example, one is nurse, one is surgeon, one is a doctor or resident. So they are like having the same field, yet it's not the same job. As we know, like now we need to know the limitations of each one. First of all, the limitation of narrow-angled course, it is like high preparation time, needs a high preparation time. Learners may have different individual needs, even with one discipline, as we said before. And it is like restricted transferability. So sometimes we cannot transfer even all the information because each one of them has a different job. And even in the level of the individual. Also, we have wide-angled course, or we say broad-angled course, in which the limitation are it may lack relevance for specialized learners because for example, you find certain learners, they wanted to study like specialized they have specialized needs, yet they are studying with others, they just want to communicate. So here they find themselves in a position where the information are taught there are not relevant. Also, we talk about generic skills. Generic skills do not always transfer to specific disciplines. Like there is certain generic skills. We will know first of all what is generic skills. When we are talking about generic skills means the skills that learners need. For example, they are skills can be used with all learners according to their individual needs. For example, summarizing, listening, speaking, etc. It is transferable to fit what they need. As generic, we say generic skills because it is designed to suit what they need in that context. For example, we say it is not exclusive to certain learners because these generic skills, they do not learn it, they do not know it, so it's not available for all of them. And we have another one. It is familiarable to some needs. It is like can be familiarable. We can use it in some needs, but not all of them. You see. So, and then we have advantage of narrow angled course. The advantage here is highly relevant and motivating, not like this one is not relevant. Sometimes they find it not relevant, so they don't feel motivated to continue the course. We have another one which is direct preparation for target situation. They direct them They direct them into target situation demands because already they know like their target needs in the end of the course what they will gain. So we have types of words. We have two main types. The first one is technical words. It can only be found like in a specific field. Yet the sub-technical, and sub-technical words, it can be found in other fields. So we have determining course content. Determining course contents. How do we determine this is the course that we want to teach with? So we have the first one is real versus career content. So real content, it focuses on language skills and knowledge learners need. For example, we have these examples as vocabulary, grammar, functions of language, skills and strategies they may know or they need to know learners, and genres. Also, we have career content in which we say the texts and the tasks used in real content, we need them. And also, there is a varied way of learning, as for example, audios, videos, visuals, and tables. And it must also reflect learners' specific fields or disciplines. In career content, it must be relevant to their fields and disciplines. Also, we have planning the syllable. How do we plan the syllable? We have to take into consideration the skills that they know, and they need to acquire listening, reading, speaking. There are certain jobs that need only listening and speaking, like pilots, for example, and some others for a professor in university. Maybe he needs reading and writing more, to write an articles. It differs. Depends. And other, it is general in where the branch in which you study. You prepare the syllabus, and also the functions. What will work? If I tell you this, what will work? Also, we have notions like standards and values that we need to take into consideration while we are doing the syllabi. Also content topics, they must be like specific into that content that we are going to teach. Also we have factors guiding syllabus decisions before we assert that ascertain that this is the course that we are going to do. So we have to take into consideration needs analysis findings. After we do the needs analysis, the findings we make it take it into consideration, so we know what we teach and what we do not teach. Also we have immediate versus long-term learners needs. We have like immediate, like in that moment. We say immediate, it means in that moment those needs are appeared, and the long-term learners needs, they need them later on. So we'll focus on the immediate one, and then from the important to not important, or urgent and not urgent. Also difficulty in the level. So even like sometimes we tend to choose certain exercises that are not in the same level of our learners to examine their needs, or let's say to examine their level, if it is like has been started to be improved or not. Also we have logical sequencing. Logical sequencing means like the sequence of the lessons according to logic. For example, I'm not going to give you a lesson from here, or lesson from first lesson and the last one. It must be like sequence logical from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 until I finish the course. Also we have availability of authentic materials. Sometimes we don't have the authentic materials, and you know that it is really needed in ESP course. Also we talk about them here. Developing materials, we have authentic materials. ESP favors or ascertain on the use of authentic materials. Authentic, whether it is academic or professional texts, as reports, care plan, scientific articles. Also we have challenges with authentic texts, or challenges with authentic texts. Authentic materials may be too technical sometimes, or too dense, like too deep, also too long, and sometimes poorly structured for teaching. They are not like well structured to be taught, and maybe not academic. Also we have benefits of using like authentic materials. It reflects real world discourse, and it builds familiarity with academic workplace norms. While you are, for example, teaching a group of pilots how do they give orders in the plane, it is like a real world for sure, and real world scene, and also it builds like familiarity. Later on you try it a lot of times in that situation, in that context, so they get familiar. It will become normal for them. Also we have it improves learner confidence and preparedness. It improves for sure their confidence while they are doing like stuff in that place. They will do it for the whole job, for the whole years, for many years while they are doing their job. So it will be familiar, and it will exceed their confidence, and they will be prepared. Also we talk about options when authentic materials used are difficult. Maybe sometimes we can adjust to simplify the text to meet the needs of our learners. Also we remove dense sections, the sections that are really not needed. Also we create instructor written texts. Sometimes the teacher create texts that can be necessary when the authentic materials are unavailable, they are not found, or unsuitable. They do not match the needs that I'm trying to improve in my learners. That's all.